All right, today I'm going to give you the top 5 best ultimate tips to collecting the Criterion collection during the Barnes & Noble 50% off sales. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around because these tips changed my entire perspective on collecting the Criterion collection, and especially my final tip. If you don't know this tip, you're doing it all wrong. Stick around. So twice a year, July and November, Barnes & Noble does a 50% off sale of all of their Criterion collection discs. This sale runs one full month at a time, and during this time, you're going to collect as many Criterion collection movies as you possibly can. That's how it works, because there's really only 2 months out of the year, and maybe 2 special flash sale days that you're really buying Criterion collection, so you got to make it count. So it's very important that you follow these tips and know what you're doing when you go to the store next. Okay, so tip number 5. We're going to work our way down to number 1. And this one's crucial. You gotta live by this tip. Set a budget. Know what you're gonna do before you enter that Barnes & Noble, because once you're in there, things go awry sometimes. Set something in your mind saying either I'm gonna pick up these 4 or 5 films, or I'm only gonna spend $100, or whatever the budget is. Figure it out before you walk in there. So for me, if I decide I'm only gonna pick up 4 Criterion movies today, when I'm in that store and I'm getting all excited and I pick up that 5th one, I remind myself of the budget, and I put that 5th copy down. I hold my shoulders high, and when I walk out of that Barnes & Noble, I get in my car and I drive to another Barnes & Noble, because the real pro tip here is the budget resets. If you're only gonna buy 4, great. Get out of that Barnes & Noble, drive to another one, buy 4 more. Trust me, I've done the math on this. It's much easier to look at your account and see a few smaller purchases than one giant purchase. It's so much easier to explain that to your spouse or your partner, whoever you're with. And please guys, I also do financial advice. So if you actually want financial tips from me as well, I do that separately on a side thing. Go ahead and comment in the comment section below. And I need to see 2 things in there. I need your mother's maiden name and the last 4 of your social. And then I'm going to be picking 20 random people who comment in the comment section to get my program for free. I will DM you my free program to financial freedom. I'm also just going to send a quick request for your routing number, bank account number, so I can send you a lot of money too. So just leave those comments below and we'll hit you up for some free financial advice after the video. Okay, back to our subject at hand. Collecting the Criterion collection at Barnes & Noble. Pro tip number 4. Okay, you ready for this one? Don't shop online. Do not shop online. It's too easy to just get the few items that you selected online and go to your shopping cart. No, you need to get your ass to a store in person so that when you're there, you can be tempted to buy more movies than you should. I know this sounds like I'm contradicting the first tip. That's not true, because you can go to as many Barnes & Nobles to make up that budget. It's a circular system. It just keeps going. You can go to other Barnes & Nobles. But when you're in store and you're holding something in your hand, it's so much easier to be convinced by it. If you go to the store looking for a specific film and they don't have that film, well, there's plenty of other films you didn't know you wanted or needed or even interested in. But when you get that in your hand and you imagine it on your bookshelf, let yourself be convinced to buy a film you never knew you wanted or needed. Go in person. Pro tip number 3, keep your eye on the ball. Pro tip number 2, another really essential one when it comes to collecting Criterion movies. You gotta do your research. You gotta go to YouTube and you gotta watch those videos where people recommend to you the best films in the collection. And specifically, you should find one YouTuber, just one YouTuber to take advice from. And once you find that YouTuber, watch their videos. Specifically, if that YouTuber has like the best of the 30s or best of the 40s or top 10 movies to expand your collection. These are great videos that will teach you exactly what you should buy when you go into the store. Once you've found that one YouTuber, you need to re-watch these videos over and over and over again. Basically memorize them. Let them be in your blood, because you don't want to be inside of a Barnes & Noble and have a panic attack not knowing what to pick up. It's inevitably going to happen. It's going to come over you and you're like, shit, what do I do? Then you recall all those videos that are in your brain. They're basically in your cells. And you're like, that's right, Dylan recommended La Bamba. And then you by La Bamba. Take this one step further. Honestly, during these Criterion months, I recommend unsubscribing to anyone else you're subscribed to and just limit to this one YouTuber. That's what your whole feed should be. You should not be focused on anything else during this time. And this goes back to tip number 3. Keep your eye on the ball. If you made it this far, that means you're almost a pro at collecting Criterion Collection. You're almost a god. This final tip, it's going to change your life. However, it may not apply to some of you. Okay, so if you have a wife, or if you have a partner, you have a spouse, chances are you guys share a budget or you share an account. Well, how do you get around your partner telling you that you've spent too much money on Criterion movies? How do you figure out how to purchase more movies without your partner knowing? Take it from me. Open up a credit card you never tell your wife about. Go sell some shit and then take that money, never put it in the account, and hold it. Save it throughout the year. Take any extra cash you can. Any moment you run an errand or do something, just take $5, $10 extra every single time and set it aside. Something minuscule, something your wife or partner will never notice. And then when it comes to that month, you have a stash of cash waiting. Then find some excuse to get out of work a little bit early, and on your way home you stop by a Barnes & Noble, a trip your wife has no idea about, and you buy up a shit ton of movies, forgetting all the other rules. No budgets exist in this window of time, in this rule set. You can buy as many as you can get your hands on and as many as you can get away with whatever tip that I've given you before. Again, cycle back to the financial advice. We can talk about that later in the DMs. But this one's important. You're gonna walk through the front door. She's gonna notice all of the new Criterion movies.
What is all that?
It's very, very important that you are quick on your toes with this one.
No, this is just fan mail from all my YouTube subscribers.
It might seem like she's not buying whatever you come up with.
Really?
And you're gonna probably need something from me because you're probably not a super successful YouTuber like I am. Make sure to throw away the evidence. You can't let her be seeing that stuff. And when it seems like she's on the verge of having a freak out,
But guess what? Starbucks.
Ooh, thank you.
pull out that Starbucks. You satiate her
Oh,
craving.
thanks. You know, I was thinking, do you want to go to Barnes & Noble tonight?
I would totally love to go to Barnes & Noble tonight.
And now you just scored yourself an extra Barnes & Noble haul. Life could not be better. Anyway, and that is my list of pro tips for collecting the Criterion Collection during a 50% off sale. I hope you found this video helpful. If you didn't, it's probably because you're just not capable of being a pro collector like myself. But drop some comments below. If there were some pro tips that you guys want to give advice to me, honestly, I could use any additional tip I possibly could at this point. I need any info you guys have. Let me know. Get yourselves to those Barnes & Nobles. Get yourself some extra discs this holiday season. In all seriousness, I love you guys. Thanks for watching the video. We'll catch you in the next one.